This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the Quarantine Report. I'm Amy Goodman here in the epicenter of the pandemic in New York City. My co-host Juan Gonzalez is in New Jersey, where he joins us from his home in New Brunswick to help stop community spread. Hi, Juan.
Oh, hi, Amy, and welcome to all of our listeners and viewers across the country and around the world.
Well, New York has the most documented cases of COVID-19 in the country, followed by New Jersey. But we begin today's show in the place with the third highest number of coronavirus infections in the United States per capita, the Navajo Nation. With a population of some 350,000 and territory that spreads over 27,000 square miles, the Navajo Nation is the largest Native American reservation in the country. The rural community is reported having nearly 2,300 known cases of COVID-19 and 73 deaths as of Sunday. One of those to die from the coronavirus is a 28-year-old woman, Valentina Blackhorse, a beloved community leader who won multiple pageants, promoted Navajo culture and education. She leaves behind a daughter named Poet. Her sister, Valentina Blackhorse, says Valentina had hoped to enter politics in the future. She spoke to New Mexico's KRQE.
My sister, she wanted to see her daughter grow up and be there for her and encourage her and, encourage her to run in pageants just like she did.
Valentina Blackhorse may have contracted the virus while caring for her partner, Robby Jones, a detention officer for the Navajo Department of Corrections, who says he could have been exposed at work. Valentina died on April 23rd, just one day after her coronavirus test came back positive. Well, for more, we're joined now by Robby Jones. Robby, to begin with, our deepest condolences for the loss of your partner, Valentina.
Thank you. Thank you about that.
I know you are just still reeling for you and your daughter, your family, your whole community. Can you tell us a little about Valentina?
Valentina, you can say she really loved her immediate family, her parents, her sisters, her nieces and nephews. She loved her elderly. She loved children. She was a kind and hardworking lady, and she was warm-hearted. One thing she would do anything for her immediate family. She always tried to take care of them as much as she could.
And Robby, could you talk a little bit about her involvement in the community, the issues and the concerns that she had about the Navajo community?
Okay, for that, she was barely getting into that. She always wanted to help out the community. Where she worked at was Department of Community Development, where she was beginning to learning how the Navajo Nation would work and how the chapter houses in each part of the Navajo Nation, how they would provide for the community. So she was slowly learning how to be involved in that type of work. So she was slowly getting there. So she was just an office specialist, but then at that time she was learning a lot, and she really wanted to put herself in the community. I'm pretty sure if she was still here, she would have applied for a different job, but then she would exceed into something more that would help her community. But then I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, and when she became ill, could you talk a little bit about the experience that she had there in terms, because obviously she died quickly after being testing positive, within a day of being tested positive. You talk about her experience from the time she got ill to the time she sought treatment.
Okay. When she first got sick, it was basically a week. She started showing symptoms. of being shortness of breath, body aches, loss of taste of smell. During that time, when she was taking care of me, I guess she contracted it. So like a little week over, that's when I started feeling better, and that's when she started feeling sick. And I took advantage of me recovering to take care of her. Her parents and I advised her to go to the clinic, but then she was afraid to go to the clinic. She didn't want to get admitted. So one day she just felt horrible. She wasn't feeling too good. So probably the first day she got sick, 4 days after, that's when I took her to our nearest clinic, and that's when they tested her. So, and then the next 4 days later, that's when she was tested positive for the COVID-19.
She was brought to the Kayenta clinic, is that right, Robby? And they had hoped to bring her to the hospital in Flagstaff, but she passed away before in the clinic?
Yes.
And Robby, do you think you contracted coronavirus, the coronavirus, from your work in the detention center? Where do you work?
I believe so. I believed one of my coworkers, he tested positive for COVID-19. At that time, we didn't know that he went to get tested again, and this time it came out positive. So a few days later, that's when we were notified that he was tested positive for the virus.
And your daughter, Poet, has she been obviously informed of what happened with her mother? Have you been able to be with her at all, or are you still self-isolating?
I haven't been with her close to a month, because when I first found out that I had COVID-19, I told Valentina to drop off our baby with her parents' house. So it's been almost a month I haven't seen our daughter, and our daughter's only 1 year old. I haven't actually spoke with her yet.
Were you given the proper equipment, protective gear, Robby, at work?
During that time, the only thing that we didn't have were masks. That was it. It was during that time where the whole United States had a huge shortage on the protection gear. So we had gloves, we had cleaning supplies to clean around the area, but the only thing is we were vulnerable to was I guess when people cough, so we didn't have masks at all.
Robby, Valentina was trying to promote COVID awareness in the Navajo Nation. Among the many things she did about promoting Navajo culture, since you are a hot spot in the United States, one of the worst affected per capita, the Navajo Nation.
Yes. Especially with her immediate family, she would always tell us to wear a mask, wear gloves, make sure to disinfect everything. But she was pretty afraid. Even before the Navajo Nation got hit hard, she was pretty aware, and she just wanted her family to be safe.
And how would you like the world and the community to remember Valentina?
I would say she was a kind-hearted person. She would put others before herself. If she knew someone needed help, she would help them. I know that she loved her elders and she loved her children, or the children in general, especially the people who are in need.
Robby, we want to thank you so much for being with us. Robby Jones, Valentina Blackhorse's partner. Again, our deepest condolences. Robby Jones speaking to us from the Navajo Nation, where he is a detention officer. When we come back, we're going to speak with two doctors who've been working on the reservation, the largest in the country, the most significant hotspot in this country, per capita, third in the United States with coronavirus infection after New York and New Jersey. This is Democracy Now! We'll be back with them in a moment.